Good evening, everybody. How are you doing tonight? I have everyone's mics muted just to eliminate background noise, but you are able to unmute them on your own if you have a question or want to speak at any time tonight, but please turn them off when you're done speaking. Welcome to our second two-year program information session. We're really glad that you're here with us tonight, and I hope that we answer all your questions about what this program is and what the HSCA is by the end of the evening. I am Dr. Michelle Crozier, formerly Nash, if that's how you knew me before. I am the director of the HSCA. Been in my position for about a year now. My background is epidemiology. I have an MPH, a Master's of Public Health, and a PhD in epidemiology, and have worked frontline in infectious disease investigations before. Most recently, I did a little bit of work on COVID investigations for the local health department. I also have quite a bit of experience in academia, both at the graduate and undergraduate levels, and I am really happy to have joined the program, and it's been wonderful helping kids and students achieve their dreams of going into the health science and STEM fields in their career. Two of my colleagues are here with us this evening, and I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves, and then we'll go ahead and run through the presentation. It should take us about an hour to get through the slides and the nuts and bolts of how to access the application. If you have a question at any time, please feel free to put it in the box or unmute yourself and ask. We will also hang around at the end to answer any questions that you may have. So without further ado, would Ms. Letitia McCrae please introduce herself?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Letitia McCrae. I am the Assistant Director of HSCA. I've been with the program for about 4 or 5 years. I've been with the program from the beginning, from the very first cohorts of students till today. In my role, I work with students to help them plan out an academic plan for the courses while they're at Lake-Sumter and also after they leave Lake-Sumter to go into their professional programs. Over the 4 years or 2 years, that we work together, we will look at university transfers, we'll look at degree plans, majors, and connect the question of what do you want to be when you grow up to an actual career plan moving forward for the next 2 to 4 years.
I have to unmute myself. Thank you very much. And would Ms. Casey Nicole please introduce herself?
Yes, my name is Casey Nicole. I am the Experiential Learning Coordinator. This is my first year with the program, so I'm very excited to be part of the team. My background is as an athletic trainer and a physical therapist assistant. And as the Experiential Learning Coordinator, the things that I do are organizing job shadowing, rotations with South Lake Hospital, things that give the students a picture of what working in healthcare is really like on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you very much. I'm lucky to have both of them as colleagues, and the students are really lucky too. Before we go on to the next slide, how about the students in the room type in the chat? Tell us what you want to be when you grow up. Why are you here? What kind of careers are you interested in? We'll have a nice awkward silence while everybody thinks about it and types it in. Pathology, okay. Pediatric nurse. An RN, surgery. I don't know if you mean physician or a nurse. Gynecology or anesthesiology. OBGYN, orthopedic surgeon. I know there must be a few more students in the room. Anybody else want to? General surgeon, okay. All right, so far, all of these fields are definitely appropriate sports medicine for the Health Sciences Collegiate Academy. So stick around and hopefully you'll determine this is the right program for you after this evening. For those of you who maybe are undecided or aren't sure exactly what all is included under the health sciences and STEM umbrella of careers, we're going to watch a short video about some different career fields that you can pursue.
The field of health science is one of the fastest growing career fields in the world. Health science encompasses hundreds of different careers, including many you may not have thought about as being typical medical careers. Along with critical thinking, health science careers combine science, technology, engineering, and math every day on the job to solve problems and help our community to stay healthy. Let's start out with the most well-known health science careers. Typically, when one thinks of health science, doctors, nurses, and dentists immediately come to mind. Whether it's a private practice office or a hospital setting, these professionals are vital to patient care. Nurses can be registered nurses or licensed practical nurses. Doctors rely increasingly on professionals such as physician's assistants and nurse practitioners and case managers to help manage patient care. And there are numerous medical specialty fields like pediatrics, internal medicine, or dermatology, to name only a few.
In my opinion, the medical field, there's no better job to do. It's satisfying. You feel like you've accomplished something by the end of the day and maybe made a difference in one or two people's lives every day. And it's financially sound. And if you like working with people and getting to know people, this is a great field to be in.
A dentist's office also offers a variety of careers, from dentist to dental hygienist, dental assistant to insurance and billing positions. You can even specialize.
I always wanted a profession where I could help people, and I've always enjoyed playing and working with kids, and it's fun to teach kids how to take care of their teeth.
Doctors and nurses rely on a variety of diagnostic and therapeutic services to help their patients get well. People who have been in accidents or have disabling conditions are often referred to physical therapists for help. The high-tech field of radiology needs radiology doctors, physician's assistants, and radiology technologists. In addition, you can even specialize in musculoskeletal radiology or interventional radiology.
So in any given day, I might do things that pertain to gastroenterology, to orthopedics, to oncology, nephrology, urology, and so on and so forth. So it's not just sitting and reading x-rays. I get to do a lot of procedures as well, interventional procedures. And it's that spectrum that makes every single day joy and a challenge.
Another essential diagnostic service is the hospital laboratory. Medical laboratory assistants, technicians, and technologists work with a variety of laboratory equipment to analyze fluid and skin samples.
The laboratory is an important portion of the team in a hospital. We provide valuable information such as lab results in which the doctor can make decisions, as well as nursing staff and respiratory care and people in the OR are making decisions on the results in which we're giving out to those people.
Pharmacists and pharmacy technicians dispense prescription medication to patients and provide information about the drugs their doctors have ordered for them. Hospitals, drugstores, nursing homes, and outpatient clinics all have need of pharmaceutical services. Love to fly? You can combine that with a medical career. In-flight nurses, paramedics, and emergency medical service helicopter pilots respond to emergency situations such as accidents or strokes and move very critical patients from smaller facilities to larger hospitals.
The biggest reward for my job is actually being able to help a person, being able to pick them up at a scene or a hospital where they're not doing well. These are all very critical patients. And being able to use my skills, my partner's skills, our combined knowledge, and deliver that patient to a higher level of care in better shape than we met them. And occasionally getting follow-up on the patient to know that what we did actually made a difference and saved a life.
All right, did anybody get some new ideas about what they want to do? For those of you who didn't answer, you don't have to let us know, it's okay. We can't train you how to be a pilot though. We don't have those courses on our campus. So what is the HSCA two-year program? Well, as you probably have put together from the title and what you already know about it, it's a two-year program for students who are interested in careers in the health sciences or STEM fields. So it's a full-time dual enrollment program in the 11th and 12th grade. So that means if you apply and you're accepted, you would become a college student this fall. You'd attend classes 100% on the South Lake campus of Lake-Sumter State College in Claremont in both the 11th and 12th grades. So it would be a huge difference compared to your 9th and 10th grade years so far. And we'll talk a lot more in detail about what your 11th and 12th grade years might look like if you were in the program. And as Ms. Nicole mentioned, our program also has a great deal of experiential learning opportunities to give you some hands-on exposure to different careers in the health sciences and STEM fields. And we'll talk about all of those opportunities in more detail as well. That is one of the things that sets us apart from general dual enrollment. Those students who pursue general dual enrollment can go find these opportunities for themselves in the community, but we put it together as a nice package for you. Even during COVID, we've been doing a lot of these things virtually, although not quite the same as in person. The Health Sciences Collegiate Academy is a wonderful partnership among the organizations that you see on the screen. We all three of us work for Lake-Sumter State College and partner with Lake County Schools, Orlando Health South Lake Hospital. They've been a partner since the beginning, along with Lake County Schools, and are a huge supporter of the experiential learning that we do. We have a representative from UCF on our campus to help with transitioning to university and over to UCF if that's where the students want to go. And then last but not least, two other partners are Montfort Academy and Pinecrest Academy. And Pinecrest is our newest partner, so they don't have any 10th graders yet eligible for the two-year program, but next year they will. So as I mentioned, experiential learning was something that set HSCA apart from general dual enrollment. But there are some other differences, and Ms. McCrae is going to walk you through how HSCA differs from dual enrollment, because you've probably heard about general dual enrollment or have friends involved in it. Our program is a little bit different, and we want you to understand what your 11th and 12th grade years would look like versus maybe what your friends are doing.
You. So we are very different from dual enrollment for a couple of reasons, and I want to point those out for you tonight. For HSCA, all of our students are on what we call tracked coursework, and that means that if you are on a nursing track, your classes are specifically laid out to make sure that you're prepared for a BSN program or to apply to a nursing program. If you're on the MD STEM track, that means that your coursework is tracked to prepare you for transferring to a university for careers in MD or physical therapy, engineering, things like that. So our students have a prescribed kind of amount of classes that they take each semester for the 4 semesters that you're with us at Lake-Sumter. Normal dual enrollment does not. Dual enrollment students can take whatever classes they like each semester. They are not required to take any certain of classes each semester. They can pick and choose. Whereas our students really don't have that kind of flexibility. We really pretty much tell you what you're going to take from semester to semester. The overall GPA for HSCA is higher than dual enrollment. For HSCA, all of our students must maintain a 3.0 GPA. You need a 3.0 GPA to apply to the program, to remain in the program, and go from semester to semester with us. With normal dual enrollment, students can have a 2.0 GPA, which is a C average, meaning you're getting pretty much a C in all your courses, C or better. And a 3.0 GPA means you're getting B or better. So it's a little bit higher for HSCA, and that is because the coursework that you're taking is going to be more difficult. For every semester, you can anticipate taking at least one math and at least one science. You'll see later that in your second semester with us, you actually take 2 sciences and a math. So this program is very math and science heavy, whereas dual enrollment, you can choose to take one science a semester, you can choose to take no science a semester. Again, you have a much more choices of the coursework that you have in dual enrollment, but it's not tracked to lead you to anything. It's pretty much you work with the dual enrollment advisor for those courses, but you kind of take what's at your own pace. For HSCA, our students must take at least 4 classes a semester, and that's because you are going to be a full-time college student. You will not be taking any classes at the high school campus, although you could still go to your high school campus for after-school sports, or if you're in ROTC, you still are able to participate in all those things because you're still a high school student, but you will not have any classes on the high school campus. With dual enrollment students, they only can take up to 3 classes a semester as a dual enrollment student, and they still have some classes at the high school. So those are some of the key differences that we like to point out, because HSCA, although it's considered dual enrollment, is really tracked. It's designed to help students who want to get in the health sciences and STEM take the right coursework, what we call prerequisite coursework, where dual enrollment is just allowing you to have exposure to coursework and pick and choose classes kind of as you go along. So I mentioned before, just briefly, what we call our MD STEM track. So that is for students who are interested in becoming a physician of some sort, who are interested in going into engineering, maybe medical research, scientific research. Those students will be on our MD STEM track. These are just some examples of careers that students have pursued while on this track: forensic science, engineering, clinical research. Those are just some baseline examples. They are not representative of the only jobs that you can pursue, the only careers you can be interested in, but we want to give you some examples of careers that students are interested in. They're not just the MD or STEM track. All of these would fall within that tracked coursework for our students. This is the nursing track. We have students who are on the nursing track who are not going to be nurses. They're going to be athletic trainers, or they're interested in going to psychology, social behavior sciences, speech pathology. Just because the student is on our nursing track doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to be an RN. There are lots of other careers that have similar coursework requirements. And so we have those students also on the nursing track, although they're doing some other things. So although we only have 2 tracks, lots of careers within health sciences and STEM falls under those umbrellas of MD STEM or nursing track. And we will work with you for you to understand which track you fall within.
All right, sorry, I have mission control going on my screen. Different boxes up to control. So as I mentioned, in general, you would attend full-time courses at Lake-Sumter State College and be a college student. You wouldn't be back on the high school campus, and Ms. McCrae also mentioned that. She's already walked through the tracks, so I think you probably would be most interested in hearing about what the experiential learning opportunities look like, both what they should look like during non-COVID times and what they have looked like during COVID. So hopefully, knock on wood, we would never have to be 100% virtual again, but if we have to, we can do it. So Ms. Nicole, would you mind talking a little bit about the hospital experiences and what you've done virtually for the students?
Sure. So we have a partnership with South Lake Hospital that allows the students to come and observe in a variety of departments throughout the hospital. So they get exposure to many different sides of things that happen within the hospital. Typically, that has not happened during COVID, but hopefully soon we will be able to resume that. And then beyond that, we do some summits and labs on campus. So we're starting to get back to a little bit of in-person with small groups, and we've been doing things like covering infection control. Our upcoming one is going to be about vital signs and how to take those. A little bit later in the spring semester, we're going to work on getting everyone CPR certified, things like that. While we've been on the virtual side of things in the fall and even still a little bit in the spring, we've been talking about things like ethics in medicine. We've talked about HIPAA, a variety of topics that would apply to many careers within health sciences and STEM. And then I've also been working on expanding our job shadowing opportunities to places that are not necessarily available within the hospital. So by the time that you guys become HSCA students, hopefully we will have many more opportunities within the community where you can go and see a variety of careers that are available. And then about once a month or so, we bring in a professional from the community to talk about what career they're in, what their educational path looked like to get there, and what their day-to-day looks like, what opportunities they have within that career as part of our special speaker series.
Thank you very much. I also want to add that if you are a North Lake student, we work with Advent Health Waterman and Tavares for the hospital observations in 11th grade and the job shadowing in 12th grade. So you wouldn't need to come all the way to Claremont to do your hospital days. So, we can schedule you at Advent Health Waterman to save you a little bit of travel on those days. On all the other days, though, when you have classes, students, wherever you live in the county, have to find transportation to the Claremont campus of Lake-Sumter State College. There's no transportation offered to get you to class. Orlando Health South Lake Hospital does have a shuttle that they will use to move students between our college campus and the hospital over in Claremont, but there isn't anything like that for Advent Health Waterman. In the 11th grade, when you do your observations, it's just more general. You see more departments in the hospital. By the end of your experience doing that, you usually have a pretty good idea of which departments you're most interested in, so you can do more focused job shadowing in the 12th grade and really immerse yourself in those particular departments for a better idea of whether it's something you want to get into or not. We do offer other courses for students who are interested in more STEM careers, like if you want to be a mathematician or mechanical engineer and you don't care about patient care or anything like that at the hospital, we can offer you some other opportunities. And as Ms. Nicole said, she's working on developing and expanding opportunities for students who are interested in other areas like that or veterinary science. And we have quite a few students now who would like to go to vet school. So those opportunities will continue to expand, especially by the time you come this fall and are with us for 2 years. So as we keep telling you, if you come to us in the 2-year program, you're going to be a full-time college student. Bang, this fall. You leave high school and you become a college student 2 years before your friends do. Full-time equates to 12 to 18 credit hours per semester. So that's 4 to 5 classes. Some of your classes will be 3 credits, some will be 4 credits because the sciences mostly are 4 credits because they have labs associated with them. And we'll show you in a few slides sample schedules of both of the tracks, so the MD STEM and the nursing tracks. So you can kind of see how that might look for you over the next couple of years. So when you are attending courses with us in 11th and 12th grade, you're satisfying both your high school graduation requirements, the remaining high school graduation requirements, and the requirements for an AA in general studies. So most students, by the time they graduate in the 12th grade, have earned 60 credit hours towards the AA in general studies. Very few students come up a couple hours short for various reasons, and some of them will then take that course with us over the summer after they graduate from high school and complete their AA at that time. And you can see the high school graduation requirements that we meet when you're in the 11th and 12th grades. So a lot of the students have already completed or satisfied the performing arts requirements. So we look at that on a case-by-case basis. For the 2-year students, we strongly encourage you to take a summer course after you have been accepted, and let us know that this is indeed a program you want to enroll in. These usually run in July timeframe into the beginning of August. And we do that to try to lighten your load a little bit. Going forward, you'll see the rationale for that in just a minute when we start to look at scheduling. And we will work with you. Well, it'll mostly be Ms. McCrae working with you on determining what course we really recommend for you over that shorter summer term. It's only, so you take a 16-week course and you pare it down into 7 weeks. So in some ways it's really good, and in other ways it can be challenging. So we want to work with you individually to determine what the right course is for you. And then, as I mentioned before, for students who maybe don't want to go down the health route, the patient care route, or any careers related to that, we do have other options in STEM areas to round out your schedule and experiential learning. All right, and one of the first classes you'll take during the fall semester is SLS 1401 Career Planning, and Ms. McCrae teaches those courses mostly. And she's going to talk a little bit about what you have to look forward to in that course.
So the SLS 1401 will be in your first semester, your fall semester. And in that course, we will spend 16 weeks really talking about the careers that you guys have identified that you're interested in. We'll look at what that means as far as what majors really go with those degrees, and what is a major, right? What is a major when you are moving on to university from Lake-Sumter? Why is that important to know which major to declare for the areas that you're interested in? We will do what we call a 4 and 8 semester plan. A 4 semester plan is going to be us mapping out every single class that you're going to take at Lake-Sumter. And then your 8 semester plan is going to be even the next 2 years that you're going to have somewhere else. So University of Central Florida, University of Florida. And we do that so that you have a really good idea of how long you're going to be in school for this major. Students who want to be surgeons sometimes don't realize that even after they leave Lake-Sumter, they're going to look at another, 14 years or so in school, just between finishing your bachelor's, going to med school, doing your residency. It's a long path. And so sometimes when students see all of the schooling that's involved, they kind of change and say, well, maybe instead of a doctor, I'll be a physician assistant. And then we can kind of adapt the coursework for that. So in that class, we really talk a lot about what it is you want to be when you grow up and what that means from a time commitment, an academic commitment. We look at coursework that's involved. It really helps students to decide, is this the right program? And sometimes we have had students who say, I don't think this is the right program for me. I'm really not that interested in a hard science major. And we help to transition them to normal dual enrollment. That's not a problem. If students realize that this program is not for them in their first or even second semester, we still have the ability to kind of transition them out to dual enrollment or return back to their high school if that's what they want to do. So this is an example of what you can look forward to this fall. So this August, if you're accepted into the program, this is the coursework you can look forward to. Your first semester is pretty standard for everybody. If you're on a STEM track, if you're on an MD track, pretty standard. You're going to have your English, which is ENC 1101. You'll have your math, MAC 1105 is college algebra. You'll have Bio 1, which is the BOC 1010C, the SLS class we just talked about, and then HUM is a humanity. You need 2 of those for your AA degree. You'll see your first semester, that is 5 classes. So that's already a very big schedule for students, first time in college students. 5 classes, 16 credit hours, that's a really heavy schedule. But in your second semester, your spring, it gets even worse, right? It gets even heavier because in that semester, you now have 2 sciences. You have your Bio 2, you have Introduction to Chemistry, your English, another math. And in this instance, 2-year students generally take AMH 2020, which is a US history course that is required for them to be able to earn the history high school credit. So you need a full credit of US history for your high school diploma. You would take AMH 2020 for half the credit, and then you would go back to your original high school campus and take an EOC exam for the other half of the credit. So that's why that's built into that schedule, because we still need to make sure that you are satisfying that high school graduation requirement, and that's how it's done. And your third semester, you have American Government, which again is another high school graduation requirement. So we make sure we get that class in your schedule. Another math, this is actually trigonometry. Economics, which is another high school graduation requirement. You have your second American history class if you happen to not pass the EOC in the previous summer, and then you have another chemistry. So when we say that this is a very math and heavy science program, we mean that. Generally in the second fall or fall number 3, if you don't have to take that AMH 2020, we put stats. So your third semester, you have trig and stats at the same time, along with Introduction to Chemistry or Chemistry 1. So it's never really gets easier with HSCA as far as the core course is concerned, because we have to prepare you for that hard science coursework that you're going to get once you leave Lake-Sumter. So this is a sample curriculum for the MD STEM tracks, so doctors or engineering science majors. And then the next one we have is nursing. And again, this is pretty standard for our nursing students. Students who are interested in going into a BSN program, a Bachelor of Science of Nursing, have to take 8 particular classes. They're called 8 prerequisites in order to apply to nursing programs, and we make sure we get those classes in the coursework pretty front heavy. So your first semester, nursing students, same thing. You have your math, your English, your science, which for nurses is anatomy and physiology, your SLS, and a humanities course. But you'll see here too, every semester you have 5 classes, 16 credit hours, very heavy schedules each semester, which is why we really recommend students take at least 1 class in the summer. So 1 class this summer coming up, summer B, and then your following summer taking 1 or 2 classes. It really is going to help with the pace of the coursework, and it's really going to help you with being able to balance out your semesters a little bit better if you are able to take summer coursework. If you aren't able to take summer coursework, you still can finish your AA as long as you successfully pass each course, but it's going to be really rough each semester having all of those classes kind of stacked for you. So we really recommend you to take a class during the summer if possible. So all of that kind of looks like this. When you take all the classes I just mentioned for your first semester, your English, your math, your science, your humanity, SLS, it kind of looks like this. Your math class is 2 days a week. Your English class is 2 days a week. Everything is 2 days a week. You will not go to your math class every day. You will not go to your English class every day. It's in this schedule, your math class is Monday, Wednesday, as well as your English. And then your science in this scenario is biology is Tuesday, Thursday, along with the lab. You'll notice on Friday, there is an HSCA block, and that is going to be the time that you are either going to the hospital for your observations, or you're going to be on campus with Ms. Nicole doing experiential learning activities or speaker series or a whole host of things that she has planned for your Friday. So while you may not have classes on Friday, you still have an obligation to do experiential learning with Mrs. Nicole, and she will always give you a schedule, and you'll always know when that you are to arrive at the hospital or on campus. So it may look like you have lots of free time, but you don't have lots of free time. Those empty blocks that don't have any classes in it is when you should be going to office hours to speak with your professors if you're having problems. It's when you go to the library and study. A lot of times it's when our students go to the Math Emporium, which is a requirement of your math class. You have to do Math Emporium for at least 3 hours a week. So a lot of times students are using that time to do it. So even though you're like, oh, I only have math 2 days a week, you may only have 2 days of lecture of math, but you might have 20 pages of math content that you are still responsible for knowing. So it's a lot of self-directed learning. It's really math and science intensive. And it's for students who are really good at being self-directed with their learning, because there's a lot of free time, it looks like, and time management is going to be super key for students who are going to be successful in this program.
Absolutely. I think our students spend probably on average 30 hours a week studying, if not more. So you really don't have free time outside of class. So working, you probably should not expect to work more than 10 hours a week maximum.
Exactly. Your coursework really is a full-time program.
Yes. School will be your over full-time job in this program.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if the students out there are still with me, still with us, let's talk about the nitty-gritty eligibility requirements, and then I will show you where to get the application on our website and walk you through how to submit that and what all we're looking for on your submission. So number one, you've already heard this at least once, maybe twice. You need to have a cumulative unweighted high school GPA of 3.0, and then that's just going to carry on through the program. As Ms. McCrae said, that's the expectation for HSCA students once you're in 11th and 12th grade also. So just put 3.0 unweighted in your head. We also need you to test college ready on the PERT. And so you need to obtain qualifying scores across all 3 sections. And the scores that you see on your screen, 114 for math, 106 for reading, and 103 for writing, are the minimum scores that we're looking for. So that's what we consider qualifying scores. We need you to have passed all your graduation assessments that you've taken up till now. And as we said before, we would want you to register in one class over the summer B term, and then participate in orientation in August. Orientation is usually a few days, the week or two before the semester begins, sometime in late August. And that's a requirement for all students, 2-year and 4-year, coming into the 11th grade. You must attend that. That's where you'll get your textbooks. And if I didn't point out earlier, the program is completely free. So tuition is covered by your students' school, and textbooks are as well. So students and families don't pay anything for this program. But as you can see, based on the curriculum, that shouldn't be the only determining factor in participating in the HSCA. You really do need to have a drive for a career in health sciences or STEM. Otherwise, there are other options for you to pursue courses, as we've talked about, through dual enrollment. And it just will make your life a lot less stressful if you go that route, if you aren't really interested in a career in this area. We expect you to also be in good conduct standing all the time, over your entire high school career, and then also with us in 11th and 12th grade. We value academic and personal integrity, and you'll have to attest to that on the application, which I'll show you in just a minute. But we do very much value that, so we will be talking to your guidance counselor about that if you apply. So you should be thinking about taking the PERT if you haven't already taken it. Schools, high schools are beginning to offer that now this spring. I think most of the exam windows are in March, but it's a little bit off this year because of COVID. So talk to your guidance counselor or testing coordinator at your high school to verify when PERT will be offered. You may have already taken it during the first window as well. We do offer it at our testing center if you can't take it at the high school for some reason, or you want to take it again after the high school window closes. I think we charge about $20 for it though, and you would need to speak with the testing center on the Lake-Sumter State College Testing Center to arrange a time to take it. We do want a copy of your scores with your application if you have them. Applications aren't due until April 9th, so you don't have to submit it right away. You can wait until you receive your scores, especially from the March time window. The bullets under the complete application packet just show all of the sections that you need to complete. Most of these are electronic, and I will show you that in just a minute. I do want to point out that you should have all of your application material together at the time you sit down to complete the application, because unfortunately our system is not fancy enough where you can put in some information, save it, and come back later. This is the first year of our electronic application, so we haven't advanced that far yet. So just make sure you have all of the attachments and information that you need when you sit down to submit your application. As I said, applications for this 2-year program are due April 9th. We will accept updated PERT scores by May 1st. So if you take it again and don't have those scores by April 9th, we will accept them up to May 1st. But that really is our cutoff, because we have to begin, we have to finalize the cohort of students so we can move forward with registration. And so that's just kind of our hard and fast date for PERT scores. And then I need to stop sharing this screen to be able to show you our website. So let me reshare this. We'll close the PowerPoint and minimize our pictures so you don't see us like we're in a funhouse mirror. Okay, so many of you have already been to our website to RSVP for tonight's session. So you just go to lssc.edu/HSCA. And of course, you guys are interested in the 2-year program, so you can get there either over here under the video or over to the left on this banner. So we'll go to the 2-year program. We'll scroll down. And under the application process, I want to point out that under number 1, attend an information session, the last link will get you a copy of this PowerPoint. We made a couple of changes to it at the last minute, and our marketing department's going to upload the current version. So if you were following along and the slides were a little bit out of order, that's why, but none of the dates or information that matters changed between presentations, but that should be updated by tomorrow. Under number 2, complete a written application. This is where you'll find all of the items that you need to, for your application. So the recommendation forms that you submit to your teacher. So you'll need to submit 2 blank forms to 2 different teachers, or a guide. One of them can be a guidance counselor, and they need to return these to your guidance counselor at your high school. The guidance counselors know all about this program, so they are collecting them for us, and we will get them from your schools. So you don't have to worry about those. So you give the blank forms to the teachers, and then the teachers will give them to your guidance counselor. You don't see the completed form as a student. While we're here, one of the things that you need to submit are transcripts, your official transcripts from Lake County schools. You can request those online, and we put a link here to the Lake County school portal where you can go and submit the request to have your official transcripts mailed to us. If you run into problems with this screen, we don't have anything to do with it, so please contact your school or whatever help information might be listed at the bottom of this form if you have issues with it. Now let's go to our application. So to access our electronic application, you just click this 2-year program application button, and then it'll open it up for you. Of course, you are applying for the 2-year program, so click this button, 2-year 11th grade entry, and it'll open up additional information below it. The first thing I want to look at is the HSCA DE application. This application is required for all 2-year applicants, and this is actually an application that will end up going to the main admissions department at Lake-Sumter State College. So every dual enrollment student fills out an application like this to process you as a college student. And please disregard any dates that you see at the top of this that refer to the fall semester. You can see the information that you'll need here, your name. You need your social security number. There's a whole explanation on the next screen that I will show you that explains why the college collects this information. An email. Students, please put an email address like Yahoo or Gmail or something like that, not your Lake County Schools email address. We're not allowed to email students as outside entities, so our emails would just bounce back. And so it's really important that we're able to communicate with you through email. So again, Gmail, Yahoo, any account like that. We need your mailing address and demographic information, good demographic information where we can send you something in the mail, a good phone number where we can call you, and we need your date of birth. Any fields you see with an asterisk is required to submit the application. So if you don't have one of these filled in, it's not going to let you submit it. Then there's just some more demographic questions that are optional. These are collected by the college under federal regulations. We need to know a name of an emergency contact. So in case something happens, we're able to get help for you. Under academic information, which semester do you plan to start at LSSC? You would probably want to just go ahead and click summer, even if you're on the fence about whether you would elect to take a summer class or not. Disregard the fact that it says May. It says May because there are different summer semesters and some of them start in May, but we would enroll you in a summer B class that didn't start until later, around July. Just high school information. We need to know what high school you're attending. All of the high schools in Lake County participate in this program. So there's no limitation based on the high school that you attend for the 2-year program. Then there are a couple of forms that we need. We need your high school GPA confirmation. We need something, this could be a screenshot of the last page of your transcripts, if you have that, something out of Skyward, something that shows us you have currently an unweighted cumulative GPA of 3.0. So we need the cumulative GPA. Test scores, these are the PERT scores I was discussing. So we need the score reports from your the round of PERT exam that you want to use, the scores that you wish to use for your application. And we need a counselor approval form, and your guidance counselor will have this form. It's very brief, but ask them for it. They just verify that you're eligible for the program and for dual enrollment. You don't need to worry about the last two attachments. So just disregard those. And you choose the files, like you're attaching a document to an email to send it. So you would hit choose files and then navigate to wherever they're saved on your computer. Once you're finished with this portion, hit submit. I'm not going to do that though, because I want to go back and show you the rest of the application. So you'll come here to two-year HSCA program and read through the admission process and agreement. This is where it will tell you why the college is collecting your social security number. And the section also goes into detail about us at HSCA discussing academic information with your guidance counselor at your high school. So by attesting to this, you're giving us permission to discuss your academic performance and obtain records on your academic performance from your school. Just type your first name, last name, and your email again. Again, an email address that we're able to send messages to. And type your name here as the student. The student is the applicant. And students, by typing your name here, it means that you are attesting to the above information. You're giving us permission to talk to your school about your academic performance. And then you just choose whatever date you're completing it. And one parent or guardian also needs to type their name here that says they agree to the above information as well. Again, on this application, asterisks mean that the information is required. We also collect parent and guardian information for newsletters and things like that when we want to communicate with parents. We require information for one parent or guardian. The second is optional, but the more contact information we get, the better, so we can stay in touch. Again, parents, please put an email address that you guys check regularly. We'd appreciate that very much. On that note, I do want to bring up something called FERPA, and if your student is admitted to the program, we're going to discuss this in a lot more detail at the welcome session that we do over the summer, but we are not allowed to discuss grades with parents when students are enrolled in college classes. And this would be something that continues on at the university level as well. It's called FERPA. And so if your student is struggling in a class, we will initially be in communication with the student, but if things continue to look down, we will discuss the situation with the high school guidance counselor, and they may reach out to you, but we're not allowed to reach out to you directly, nor are we able to discuss grades with you directly unless your student signs a waiver. But like I said, we will go over that in great detail at the welcome session and talk about tips to stay involved in your students' studies. You're aware before we are of your students standing in classes. If you continue scrolling down, students, we ask you to tell us about your involvement experience. So tell us about volunteer experiences over high school, any honors or awards you've received, and then clubs and organizations or extracurricular activities that you've participated in over 9th and 10th grade. Finally, the last major piece of work that you have to do here is submit your writing sample, which is 300 to 350 words, telling us why you're interested in the HSCA program. What is your career path? What do you want to do with a degree in health sciences or STEM? And we ask you to type your name again in the student signature box, verifying that it's your original work, that you didn't pay anyone to write your essay for you. And then just print the name of your English teacher in case we need to verify anything about your work. And lastly, read through the honor code agreement that talks about our academic and personal integrity. And students, both you and one parent or guardian, typed your name again under this section to verify that you agree to the honor code and that you are electronically signing the document. And then again, choose the date from the calendar. A second parent or guardian is not required, but a second parent or guardian is welcome to also attest and agree to the honor code. Then you hit submit, and then you are all done. And so I'm going to stop sharing so I can see the chat. I'm sure there have been some questions while I was talking through all of that. Are there any others? That's the end of our information for you, but we will stick around until all of your questions are answered. I really appreciate everybody coming tonight. If you don't have any questions, you don't have to stick around, but you're welcome in case you want to hear what others ask.